One of the absolute greatest determinants of success is a man's ability to resist temptation. Because as soon as a man decides to aspire to be something better, as soon as a man decides that he wants to be better, that he wants to rid himself of desires and passions that serve him no purpose, you are going to be encountered with temptation. Temptation to go back to being your old self, temptation to keep indulging in bad habits that serve you no purpose, temptation to go back to the old people in your life who serve you no purpose, who are just negative energy around you. Temptation is going to be arisen, and the people who defeat temptation are those who realize that temptation comes from within, not from without. You see, when temptation arises in you, don't dismiss it. Look at what the temptation is. See why it's arisen in me. Why has this specific temptation arisen in me? And through analyzing yourself, that's how you're going to be able to beat those temptations. Because temptations are a normal part. Because when you aspire to be something better, temptations are there to test you. Temptations are there to see if you're going to go backwards. Because as soon as you aspire to go higher, temptation is something that is going to try and drag you backwards. Backwards to your old self, backwards to your old habits. Now, how do you beat temptation? You beat temptation through constantly getting better, through constantly analyzing yourself, through the conquest of yourself, through knowing yourself. That's how you beat temptation. Because if you don't know yourself, and if you constantly blame outward circumstances, you are never ever going to beat temptation. Because temptation is one of the biggest things that ruins many men. Temptation for lust, temptation for women, temptation for drugs, alcohol, partying, temptation even for being around negativity all the time, temptation for excessive praise. Whatever the temptation in your life may be right now, you need to analyze why it's coming. And analyze, is it worth indulging in this for me to take a step backward? Because as soon as you indulge in temptations, you acknowledge the fact that you're willingly taking a step backward away from the best version of yourself. Aspiration and inspiration are almost like twin sisters, because through aspiration we are able to long for better. It's the longing to be better than what we currently are. And when we get inspired, we are inspired to be better. It's the aspiration is the longing for the betterment of us. Inspiration, in my opinion, comes from outward circumstances that inspire us to be better, but aspiration comes from within. When you aspire for something better, it's the longing to be better than what you currently are. And it's the first step to becoming better. Because if you don't aspire to be better, if you don't aspire for something more, you will never take action to be something more. But through aspiration, whenever we aspire to be better, temptation will come. Because as soon as we aspire for something better, there is going to be those temptations that come to take us backwards. Now, how do you conquer yourself? You conquer yourself by asking yourself the questions that most people don't ask. Sit down and ask yourself, what is one thing that I want to fix, that I can fix? Sit on that question for a while and you will get the answer you're looking for. Sometimes it's not the answer that you want to hear, but it's an answer that you need to hear if you want to be better. Becoming better is not going to be easy. It's going to involve destroying a lot of bad habits, destroying your old self to get to that new and improved version of yourself. Ask yourself the hard questions. What do I want out of my life? What would I be happy doing for the rest of my life? Not what do my parents want me to do? What do my friends want me to do? What do you want in your life? What can you do in your life for yourself right now that you would do that will improve your life drastically? Because we all have that one thing that we need to improve. Because I'm not perfect. As much as my obsession to be better is good, is a great quality to have, sometimes I need to look at myself in situations where I obsessively think about the small things that actually don't matter as much. I need to learn how to turn it off. Sometimes I need to learn how to stop as well. The discipline of stopping, the discipline of doing just enough. Because I've been dealing with an overuse injury, as I've said in my previous video, and it's kind of been really messing with my psyche, messing with me mentally. But what I learned today, and this is why reading is so good, is that my inner conditions are going to determine my outer conditions. There's no point in me thinking negatively about this. There's no point in me not going through this experience positively and with a great attitude, with a great mental attitude, because I have to go through it anyway. So why not go through it positively? I need to realize for my life as well, and this could be true for your life too, to stop expecting perfection with everything, to stop obsessing sometimes about every single little small detail and making everything perfect, and just focusing on improvement, just focusing on progress. These are the questions that you have to ask yourself. I would have never come to that conclusion about myself if I didn't ask myself the hard questions. Is it something I wanted to hear? Maybe not. But is it something that I needed to hear and that's going to make my life better? Of course it is. And there's something in your life that you're avoiding right now. There's something in your life that you can change that's going to drastically improve you. It's the hard decision that you've been avoiding. You know internally what that decision is. But because of the temptation to indulge in the bad habits, because of the temptation to indulge in lust, or whatever temptations have tempted you and you've given in, know that you can beat them. You just have to analyze yourself. And 99% of people do not know themselves. Know thyself and you shall know the world. Because it is not from the outer conditions that determine what happens to us. It is through the inner conditions that we determine the outer conditions. Through our inner world, we determine the outer conditions of our life. Because through our perception of life, through the lens we look at life, that's how our life will be. If you look at life through the lens of positivity, if you look at life as an endless opportunity to get better, that's what it's going to be. That is what life is going to present to you. But if you look at life as an endless suffering, as always asking, why is this happening to me? I'm so unlucky. That is what life is going to present to you. Temptation is something that affects every man, every woman on this planet. You cannot escape it. The only thing you can do is rise above it. And the only way you are going to rise above temptations is building good habits, having great people around you, reading good books, and through extensive self-analysis and through the conquest of yourself. That's how you are going to beat temptation. And never forget, you were born to be great.